Hello. Hi, Joanne. Hello. Sorry that I'm a bit late because I was posting an Insta story and then I lost track of the time. Hello. Okay. Hi. It's been 2 weeks. Good to see everyone again. Sorry. I know I'm 5 minutes late, okay? Because I was posting a TikTok story to inform you guys about the live. But yeah, I kind of like overshot. Okay. Hello. Okay, so actually, right, usually for live topics, usually for live session, we don't really have a topic, but today there's actually a topic for today's live session. Okay, there's lots and lots that we have to talk about today. So for everyone that is here, you guys are in for a treat, okay? So for those of you guys who are already in the channel, right, the broadcast channel, I think you already know today's topic. Okay, but for those of you guys who just joined, hi Martin, hello. Okay, so for those who just joined, today's topic is the difference between fixing yourself and meeting yourself. Okay, so today we'll be talking about everything that is under this topic. How come you guys just left the chat? How come I don't see you guys already? Are you guys still there? Okay. Yeah, because just now I just couldn't see anyone on the audience list. Okay. How's everyone doing tonight? How's everyone tonight? So today has been a rather chill day for me. Basically, I didn't have any sessions today. I was actually at home for the whole day. So yeah, you guys are like the first people that, okay, not really. You guys are not the first people that I talked to, because I did some business development calls today, so that still counts, but not therapy session. Okay, how's everyone? Okay, so right, if you guys can just type in the chat, okay, just one word, okay, anything that you guys are feeling. It could be like curious to know more about today's topic. It could be like just feeling a bit tired. For myself, I just feel quite chill today lah. So I feel that I'm like quite awake today, as you guys can see. It's 9:30, right, but I'm still like energetic. Hello, Gavin. How's my new therapy space? Okay, I don't know if we can still call it new, because it's been like 6 months plus already. Okay lah, it's still new lah, right? It's been 6 months. Is it 6 months already? November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 7 months already. Yeah, so it's not that new, but yes. It's been so long since I've seen you, Joanne. Okay. Busy. Oh, no. It's not busy. 假霸 boy. It's Hokkien. I thought it's busy. Yeah. Okay. 假霸了. Okay. So right, okay, for me, I felt a bit courageous today lah, because I made some new connections on the business front. It's a bit out of my comfort zone, to be honest. Like, business development things is not always like my favorite thing to do, but I realized that what energizes me is when I find that genuine alignment with people. I think that part feels meaningful to me. Yeah. And also like just feeling maybe like, oh wow, I'm actually managed to do something that I don't really like. I think that part also sort of feels a bit meaningful as well. Okay. All right. Okay. So we are gonna start soon. Okay. Today's topic, as I mentioned, is about coming home. What am I talking about? Today's topic is about the difference between meeting ourselves and fixing ourselves. Okay. So it's a topic that I really want to talk about today. So today will be less of a chit chat session. Okay. There's really real stuff here. Okay, to be talked about. But if you guys have any thoughts around this topic, y'all can feel free to put your questions in the chat. Feel free to share. Also, good for mental clarity. This live session is good for mental clarity, yes. Curious to learn about today's topic. Growing deeper. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm also curious to actually hear what you guys think about today's topic. Okay, but I don't know if you guys relate to this, right? Sometimes it's really sort of like like the difference between fixing and meeting yourself. Okay, why I want to talk about this topic is because I just feel that a lot of times, right? Sometimes, when we are in our healing journey, okay, when we are in our healing journey, we sometimes will try to like journal, okay, sometimes we will reflect, right? And for some of us, I don't know, you guys do meditation? Do you guys do meditation? Or maybe sometimes it's like just really giving ourselves that that healing space, like telling ourselves, okay, I need to do this, and we even go for therapy, okay, some of us. But I feel like sometimes, right, rest is not really rest anymore. Okay, yeah, and this inspiration just came up to me like a few days ago, and it's more of like, yeah, we can be doing a lot of journaling, we can be regulating ourselves using the wonderful tools and techniques that we learn, right, in our therapy sessions. I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually in therapy, but it's like some of these things can become another form of like pressure. Okay, it can be another form of like task to do, another way to measure whether or not we are doing life properly. Okay, and I think that is why I actually want to talk about today's topic lah. Yeah, okay, let's see what you guys have here. I think fixing is always something like, I want to get this out of me, I want to fix this. Yeah, like fixing is actually exactly like, I need to get this done, I need to like finish this thing, I need to be productive, right? That is like, yeah, like the most kind of common way we understand fixing. But there's also another kind of fixing when you start your healing journey, right? Okay, you learn all the self-regulation things, you journal, you meditate, and then suddenly healing or resting just becomes like a next to do thing. Like, I need to regulate, I must meditate now, I have to have my whole life figured out, I need to have my whole nervous system figured out, that kind of thing. I'm not sure if you guys can relate to this. So it becomes another kind of performance. Okay, it becomes another task that we need to do. And I think sometimes I also notice this in myself. I don't know about you guys. Okay, and like, it's just the part of me that wants to turn everything, not everything, like I want to turn something that is like meaningful into something that's productive. Like, like, this is something that is like personal to me. Okay, I don't usually share that much of my personal stuff on live, but it's like, sometimes when when I'm like resting, and then when I'm just journaling and reflecting, right? Because I love to journal. Okay, for those of you guys who have known me for the last few years, you all know that I do my daily journaling, right? So sometimes like I notice that it gets a bit pressurizing. Sometimes like after I journal, right, then I feel that, okay, I need to turn this into content, that kind of thing, or when I am actually not in the mood, to actually reflect, I will tell myself, okay, I need to actually sit down and give myself that, time for inspiration to come out. So that feels pressurizing, Is it okay to ask free topic questions? Yes, you can. Feel free to feel free to put your questions in the chat, okay? And then if you have any questions, I'll try to answer it, okay, while I'm going through today's topic, because we have a topic to actually cover today. Okay, and maybe the things that we are covering today can also answer your question. Meeting is meeting where I am to heal. I always want to fix my trauma. Yeah. So can you actually, like, on this note, right? Can you, like, think of the sentence that you always say to yourself, whenever you want to fix your trauma? Like, what do you notice, comes up? What is, like, the voice that comes up when you say that, you want to fix your trauma? There's a reason why all this surface in our mind during sleeping time. Yeah, I think that's a very good point. So host is saying that, a lot of all these thoughts, right, come up during our sleeping time. And that is when our nervous system actually can slow down and relax, right? When our nervous system actually feels more and more like slow and is not on a hyper-vigilant mode. A lot of the things that are inside of us bottling up for the whole day finally find more safety to actually come up, okay, to our mind, okay. And that's why sometimes we get insomnia, we cannot sleep, okay. For some of us, we wake up in the middle of the night, okay, and then have all of these running thoughts, okay, because the thing is, our nervous system only find it, it's safe to actually rest now at night. I finally find, like, some safety in my body when I lie down my bed. Okay, but suddenly all of these thoughts comes up, right? How to avoid MPD people? I'm not sure if I have an answer for that, right? When is it okay to forget about some people I know, like friends I used to like? When is it okay? So, we always like to think like, it's like, when we try to actually want to forget, some people, right? It is actually harder to do so by trying to force ourselves to forget. It could be another form of fixing ourselves also, right? Like, why am I still not over this person, right? Or why do I keep thinking of them, right? Why do I still get triggered over this friendship? Yeah, and these are kind of like ways that our mind subtly try to fix us also. Okay, you notice the energy behind it is actually quite forceful sometimes. Okay, so it's not about, asking ourselves when can we get over, why are we not over it yet, okay? It's about meeting ourselves, which we will get to today's topic later, okay? So stay in this live, and we'll be talking through some of that later. Okay, there's so many comments and questions. I cannot even cover today's content. Okay, but I guess actually your questions are more important. Okay, I'll prioritize questions, and if you guys have questions, just continue to actually put them in the chat, and I'll try my best to answer, okay? Hi, David. I want to get faster, fully healed, and get done with this. Yes. Okay, so you see, like, the voice that is coming from fixing, right, always sounds very urgent. Okay, like what Joanne said, I want to get faster, I want to be faster healed, okay, and get over with this and done with it. Okay, so sometimes we can even have questions like, why am I still like this? Okay, why am I still like this? Why am I not over it yet? Right? Why do I still get triggered? This is a very common one that I always hear, okay? I think, like, at least, right, every day I'll hear it once. Why do I still get triggered? Okay, why can't I be more disciplined? If let's say we are trying to sort of like install some kind of healthy habits, sometimes we may, not feel motivated to do it, right? Then, we can ask ourselves, why can't I be more disciplined on this? Okay. Another one that I notice is also very common. Why am I so sensitive? Okay, this one, I have it a lot as well, especially for people who are highly, highly sensitive. I call them HSPs, highly sensitive people, okay? Oftentimes we'll have this fixing voice that comes in to say, why are you so sensitive? Why can't you just be normal? Okay, how many of you guys have this voice? I'm sure there's a lot of sensitive souls here also, okay, that can relate to this. Hi! Hi, Pearl. I see you there. Okay. Yeah, so, the thing about our healing journey, right? Sometimes, as I said, healing can become another form of project to do. Healing from trauma and all of this is, can be really tricky sometimes, because just here, what is it that we are telling ourselves? I need to heal. Okay, I should be healed by now, Why am I still so triggered, right or not? So these statements, right, obviously, it comes from a place where it may not be very helpful, for us. You can hear the voice. It sounds like this, like, I don't know, when I hear these statements, they just sound like someone that wants to, consume us and, put us down. Okay, it's that kind of big bully voice. Okay. And Ming Xing Jian Xing is saying that that voice telling you is not you. Yes, the voice telling you is not you, but the voice is so real, right? So for you, how do you deal with this voice? Talk to yourself with comfort. Yeah. How do you talk to yourself with comfort? More so sensitive when feeling envy. Very sensitive. Yeah, a lot of sensitive souls here today, right? We might be asking ourselves all the time, like, why am I so sensitive? Like, why do I feel so much? Okay, sensitive people often have this thought that, am I too much? Am I not enough? So is this the inner critic? Yes. So a lot of the time, the voice that tries to tell us to be better, that hides behind the name of self-improvement, is in fact our biggest bully, right? Or our inner critic, like what Joanne said. Yeah, so do you guys know what is inner critic? So inner critic means like someone that constantly criticizes you. Okay, but sometimes it can also not be inner critic. Like, for example, when we ask ourselves, like, why? Because inner critic sounds, there's this harsh, very harsh element to it. Okay, but sometimes even things like why do I keep repeating the same patterns? These are more of like questioning, right? They can also be quite subtle forms of like, like the voice that comes up when we try to fix ourselves. How to avoid procrastination. How to avoid procrastination. The thing is, like, I always like to say that when you want to try to avoid something, right, you want to try to include it in your life. Okay, healing ourselves, being on this healing journey, is everything that you try to fix, you try to not want, you try to get rid of. I want you to start including it in your life. Okay. Including it in your life first. Okay, not saying that you just want to like it's not like, oh, I just want to accept this like part of me that is procrastinating, right? And it doesn't have to be that way forever. But the first step, which we will be going through later, okay, is always about trying to include more than exclude certain thing. Okay, so I'm glad that you brought this up, okay, this procrastination. Because how to avoid procrastination, it can also be just another way of trying to fix ourselves, okay? I need to avoid procrastination. Okay, so another thing about how do you spot, how do you spot yourself fixing yourself, right? Is when you are actually trying to use terms like, let's say, I must, okay, I need to, okay, I should, okay. So I want you to go about your day, like maybe just today, I want you to think back about maybe the thoughts that you have, okay. How many of your thoughts actually start with, I need to get rid of this, okay, I need to cure my procrastination, for example, okay. I need to stop being so needy, so sensitive. Okay, I need to stop being so messy. I need to be, less reactive. Okay, how many of you guys have these thoughts? Okay, so I have it. Okay, so those are parts of us that tries to fix. Okay, and all of us definitely will have these parts, okay, because we live in a world where we are constantly asked to improve ourselves, okay. I mean, unless you grew up in a world where you don't get influence that tells you that you need to be better, okay, then you wouldn't have all of these voices or fixing thoughts, okay. But I want us to start recognizing how does this thought sound like, okay. We don't have to change them. Okay, so we are not saying that, oh, we want to fix this fixing part. No, then that becomes another form of fixing, okay? So the thing is, we want to start to identify, okay? So first step, everyone here, is to write down, okay? You don't have to write down if you don't like to write down, but just notice, how does your fixing thoughts look like for you? Okay. Oh, another one is also very common. I just suddenly thought of it. Okay, it's like sometimes it can come in the form of like, I'm a problem to be solved. Okay, like we can tell ourselves that, okay, I think I'm a burden, I'm a problem. Okay, I need to solve myself. Okay, it can also sound like that. Okay, fixing yourself can also sound like that. How can I calm my nervous system despite nothing much happening, or rather work is rather are you trying to give me a riddle here? Rather work is can be rather what is this? Okay, are you trying to say that, like, how do you actually relax, okay, even though when there's nothing happening, right? Yeah, so for a lot of us, relaxation and calming our nervous system and trying to rest is not very easy, okay? Because our system is very trained to produce, our system is very trained to do the next thing, right? So it's true that even allowing ourselves that rest can feel very, very difficult, okay? So the thing is, okay, you also don't try to like force yourself to completely rest lah, because if your nervous system have been in survival for a very, very long time, okay, the thing is about slowly introducing safety back into your body, okay. Slowly, gradually, step by step. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I understand what you're saying. So it's like whenever you finally can feel that calm, that sense of calmness and relaxation, then you kind of get heightened, right? So in a way, we are not diagnosing here, right? Because we are not in a therapy session now, but it may be the case that our nervous system is not used to calm. Okay, so feeling calm and relaxed can even be a trigger in itself. Okay, and why is this? Because sometimes we are in a stressful environment for too long. Wow, this is a very interesting question from daughter. if you don't want it, why you want to include it? Okay, this is what I'm going to talk about later, okay? It's like, if you don't want something, why do you want to include it, right? Okay, because it's a very paradoxical thing, okay? So let's say now, right, I ask you to don't think about pink elephant. Don't think about it. Don't think about pink elephant. Don't think about a pink elephant, okay? Don't think about it. What comes up to you? Don't think about it. Don't think about pink elephant. Okay, so that's the reason why, okay, to want something to be sort of like that doesn't bother you in your life, okay, you cannot keep pushing it away, okay, because the more you keep pushing it away, the more it's going to come to you, right? I'm not sure why the universe is created that way as well, okay. For me, focusing on the wins, once you have more mastery, able to identify triggers. Thanks for sharing that, Joanne. Shane, tonight's topic is on fixing yourself versus meeting yourself. Okay, what's the difference? So far we have already covered, how does fixing yourself sound like, right? So I hope you guys have identified, okay, ways that we have tried to fix ourselves. Okay, so an easy way to tell whether you are fixing yourself is that you will subtly try to subconsciously tell yourself that, this part of me should not be here. Okay, I want this part of me to be out. Okay, so it can come in many, many ways, but that is the underlying energy, okay, underneath any kind of attempt, okay, even though we may say, how do I avoid procrastination? Okay, that is also trying to sort of like fix something, okay? And by default, as we are growing up, okay, how many of us, okay, have parents that tell us that you must not procrastinate, okay? You must not do this, you must not do that, okay? So this sometimes is also sort of like cultural thing lah, okay, cannot be avoided one, okay? So now that we are older, okay, the task is just to identify in what ways have we been sort of conditioned to so-called fix ourselves, okay? That means trying to exclude something in the name of self-improvement, okay? Okay, this is what works for me. I ask myself, how do I want to spend the next hour? It works, yes. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, so if you guys have any tips, right, that you find is personally helpful for you, right, in relation to today's topic, then you can just, put it down in the chat. Maybe it might be helpful to someone else. Hello, hi Alisa. So glad that you're here. Okay. Sometimes it feels so much easier to just watch other people who are better than us and wish that we were them. Yeah, I know, right? It's sort of like, comparing ourselves with others just feels like second nature sometimes, right? It's like a form of also fixing ourselves. Wow, they have this. How come I'm not like that, right? How come, wow, I wish that I only had that. Oh, I need to try to make myself that way. Okay, again, this also is a subtle form of sort of like, fixing. Okay, so today's topic for those of you guys who have just joined is what is the difference between fixing, okay, versus meeting ourselves. So we have already talked about we have already talked about fixing. Okay, so we are going to go to the next part of today's topic, which is meeting yourself. How do we actually meet ourselves? Okay, if you guys have any idea, just type it in the chat. How do you actually meet yourself? I think just now Pearl share. I think Joanne also share. What will be the Chill Carnival about? Yes, so our upcoming Chill Carnival is 16 May. Okay, especially if you guys are, finding it really difficult to relax and rest. I think just now, I'm not sure who was it that tells me that they find it really hard, okay, to actually calm themselves and put themselves in a relaxed state. Yeah. So it's really about restoring safety for our nervous system. Okay, this is what the chill carnival is about. Okay, meaning to say, in the carnival, okay, we will actually assess what your system needs. Okay, because when you say your system needs rest, all of our system needs rest. Okay, but what kind of rest? Okay, so it's more personalized to that level, and it will also, help. It will also help, you know, in a way help you to find, your own safety for the rest that you need. Yeah, this topic is very hard. Yeah. Okay, so I'll talk more about the chill carnival later. Okay, so we continue with today's topic first. Okay, so instead of fixing ourselves, what we can do is that we often find that if our default is to fix ourselves, okay, then we can start by asking ourselves, okay, what parts of ourselves, is really hard, okay, to include. Okay, that is the first question. Okay, so that is one question that we can ask. Okay, or for instance, sometimes if we find that like some part of us just feels really afraid, okay, really hard to calm down, like very anxious, correct? Meeting yourself will sound something like something in me is afraid. Okay, something in me just feels tired. Okay, can I just bring in a little bit more space here, a little bit more curiosity here to kind of like listen to it? Okay, so meeting yourself is different, right? Because it kind of like invites this sense of curiosity there. Okay, it's like, it doesn't mean that you have to like every pattern. Okay, sometimes, yeah, we don't like this part of us that's emotionally reactive, correct? Yeah, how many of us don't really like this part of us because it hurts other people, right? And we don't feel good about it. Okay, so meeting yourself is also not like, oh, you have to like this pattern. Okay, it also does not mean that you stop criticizing yourself. Okay, because sometimes we just cannot help it. Okay, it just comes automatically. Okay, but meeting yourself means, okay, we always begin with like a relationship with ourselves. Okay, so fixing ourselves often is like trying to exclude something. Okay, like I must do this, I need to do this. Okay, must, should, have to. Okay, these are very, very common ways, okay, that we try to fix ourselves. Okay, but meeting ourselves here often is like inviting a relationship with ourselves. Okay, so it's a bit different. Okay, it's less like, I would like to think of it as like it comes less from like force. Okay, it comes more from like, okay, this part of me is here, I include it. Okay, now can I understand how calm is here? Okay, can I try to listen to it more? Okay, so that is meeting energy. Y'all see the difference or not? Okay, so if it's not clear, just let me know, okay? Because sometimes I'm not very good at explaining concepts. Okay, so if it's not very clear, just let me know. Sometimes I can talk a bit too fast as well. In a way, meeting ourselves is acknowledging and think what we are feeling. In a way, yes. Okay, so yes, so in a way, meeting ourselves is noticing, which is acknowledging. Okay, and think what we are feeling. Yeah, I would say notice what we are feeling. Okay, because if we are thinking, then we are using our brain already. Okay, but noticing, maybe which part of us feels a bit tired. Okay, which part of us just feels like it needs a bit of sayang today. Okay, which parts of us feels a little bit overwhelmed today. Okay, so it's like, instead of asking why, okay, why am I like that? Why am I so angry? Okay, why can't I not get triggered, okay? We ask more of what questions, okay? What or which parts, okay? Or like Alisa Lenny said, okay, it's maybe simply just noticing, okay? So in a way, meeting is always from, I rarely hear why questions, okay, when we try to meet ourselves, okay? By and large, the fix is facing realism head on. I find that avoidance is where the problem manifests. Yeah. So again, right, it's like meeting ourselves is also not avoidance, yeah? Okay, it's not that we are not trying to like grow and we are not trying to self-improve, but it's just using a different strategy, okay? And I will argue is a more effective one, okay? Because just now we did this experiment, right? Don't think about a pink elephant. Don't think about a pink elephant, okay? What do you guys think about now? Right? So in a way, okay, it's like we also don't want to say that meeting ourselves means that we don't advocate for growth, we don't advocate for self-improvement. No, okay? It's not that, yeah? Okay? It is about kind of like using a different approach, okay? So, okay, a simple way to think of it is like, when we fix ourselves, right, it's like a bit like we are rejecting ourselves head on already, okay? It's like, you should be doing this, okay? Stop it, okay? Stop thinking, okay? Stop being triggered. Stop procrastinating, okay? Why am I still procrastinating? So that is like fixing. It usually begins with rejection, okay? But meeting, as I said, is like a relationship building sort of thing, okay? And many of us, right, especially for those who are very good at fixing ourselves, okay, we usually don't try to, sometimes when we think about how we talk to our friends, right, we are usually much more accepting, much more compassionate, okay? We are usually much more accepting and compassionate, okay? We usually try to be in a relationship with them. But when it comes to ourselves, we are just super harsh on ourselves, right? Okay, so it is also just about sometimes treating yourself like a friend, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm just gonna pause here to take some questions, okay? So if you guys have any questions so far about this topic, just put it in the chat. Okay, I will still answer questions today lah, okay, even though there's a topic for today. Do you think it's important for youth today to attain a degree, even as something to fall back on? Personal opinion, no. Yeah, that is my own personal take lah. But this youth needs to be resourceful in his own way lah. Okay, because oftentimes, having an institution, having a school, it trains your resilience, it trains your critical thinking, it trains your resourcefulness. I think these are the skills that are more tangible, because knowledge, all these things you can search online these days, but it's the soft skills that sometimes these institutions like universities, they still help us to build, right? Yeah. Sounds a bit like mindfulness. Yeah. A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it requires mindfulness as well, meeting yourself, okay. Wow, it's already 10:15. Okay, we only have 15 more minutes, guys, to the end of today's live session. Do you believe if something is not for you, the universe will keep showing you until you learn it? If something is not for you, the universe will keep showing you until you learn it. I would say that I'll rephrase this and say that if something is, for you to learn, if there's a lesson there for you to learn, the universe will keep showing you the repeated pattern. Okay, and the pattern will keep repeating, okay, until you learn the lesson. Yes. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, so right, I still have things to cover today, okay? So the last 15 minutes, okay, I want to actually leave us with this sort of like a 3-step way that I want to share, okay, especially if we have fixers here, okay? I personally am a fixer myself, okay? I mean, that's why I'm in this profession. They say that all therapists are like fixers. We try to fix ourselves a lot, okay? That's why we end up in this profession, right? So, but of course, over the years, it's a journey, of course. And I think one tool that really helped me to move from fixing myself to meeting myself, okay, is this 3-step thing. So that's why I say if you guys are here today, you guys are in for a treat, okay? Because I'll be sharing it with you. Okay, what is my special interest? I have a lot of interests. I think the thing about me is that I'm actually interested in almost like everything except for politics. Okay, I'm not interested in news and politics, and I'm not interested in I mean, like, even economics, I'm quite interested as well. I'm interested in a lot of different topics. That's why it was really difficult for me to choose a course in uni as well. Okay, but I just know that I'm not that interested in like news. Okay. INFJ. Yeah. Really? INFJ is more of a fixer. I didn't know that. Yeah, so I guess, all of us have this fixer part in us, right? And sometimes this fixer part of us is something that is learned, right? Through our culture, through our family. It's inevitable. Yes. Okay, so just now, right, at the start of the session, I hope you guys already identified what is your fixer voice. Okay, so just revise your notes, right, for those of you guys who took it down already. Okay, how does your fixer voice sounds like? Okay, you can call it the inner critic. Sometimes it comes in the form of inner critic, but it usually have this I need to, I should, I must. Okay, how do I get rid of this? Okay, I need to fix my anxiety. I need to fix my sensitivity. Okay, I need to stop feeling this way. I need to get more disciplined. Okay, so notice your fixing voice. Okay, so for those of you guys who really notice and write it down, good. Okay, so instead, so the first step, you name it first. Okay, and then you will start to notice a pattern. Okay, so your fixing voice usually comes in a certain pattern one. Okay, this one you gotta take time to notice it. Okay, maybe today you may not notice the pattern in it, but you can over time notice that there is a pattern in this fixing voice. Okay, some people is always, what's wrong with me? Why do I still get triggered? Okay, but for some of us, it's completely different. Okay, this fixing voice. But okay, just now we say before, I'm just gonna recap. But what makes it a fixing voice is that when it comes from pressure, okay, and urgency. Okay, there's this subtle underlying urgency there. Okay, this fixing energy, I call it. Okay, so that's step one. They call it the advocate personality. We are naturally empaths, yeah. And I tell you, there's actually a lot of intelligence in this fixing parts of us, okay? I mean, if I don't have this fixing part of me in the first place, I may not even become like a therapist or want to actually understand more about myself, okay? So reap the good parts of it also. Yeah, like advocacy, exactly, when you can stand up for something like I need to share this, right? That is also fixing what, right? But in a more helpful way, okay? But when it comes to like being critical on ourselves and really trying to not think of a pink elephant, that kind of thing, then it's not then it's not very useful, correct? Okay, so once you notice this fixing part of you, yeah, okay guys, okay, the second step is then you want to translate it to a meeting statement. Okay, so step number 2, okay, translate this fixing voice into a meeting question. Okay, so for example, just now, I think, is it Joanne was saying that it's like, I cannot remember really, let me, yeah, I want to faster fully heal and get this done. Okay, so yes, even our healing journey, as I mentioned just now, can become another task for us to fix, okay, and get done, right? Okay, so when you notice this, right, you will actually translate it into a meeting question. Okay, so for example, that question that can be asked, right, for that fixing part, okay, which is, I need to be healed by now. Okay, I need to get myself healed faster. Okay, a meeting question in this case, okay, will look something like, what need, okay, is underneath this? Okay, what do I fear would happen if I don't get healed? Okay, so these are examples of questions that you can ask yourself. Okay, you can write some of this down, but there's a lot of it, okay, and I don't have time to go through everything, but it's like another very good question to ask is, what part, okay, of me, what part is this fixing voice, trying to tell me? Okay, what is this fixing voice trying to tell me? Okay, what is this voice, okay, trying to get out of me? Okay, so you want to translate it into a meeting question. Okay. Relationship separation means a stronger comeback or a stronger personal growth for both parties. Wow, this one is a very tough question, Yeah, it could be both, right? Okay. What is your credentials for psychotherapy? Wow, this sounds like an interview, dude. Wow, this is like an interview. Are you certified by SPS? No, I'm not certified. Not certified by SPS. Yeah, Singapore Psychological Association, right? Or Society. No, I'm not certified by that. Okay. So another meeting question is, what will feel supportive right now? Okay, I realize that this question works for every kind of fixing voice. Okay, what will feel supportive right now for me? Okay, so you want to translate the fixing voice into sort of like a meeting voice. Okay, instead of, why am I like this? Okay, you want to kind of just ask yourself, okay, what would be helpful for me right now? What would be supportive right now? Okay, even though sometimes it's hard, okay, and we may not always perfectly, again, try to do this all the time, because sometimes it's just hard, right, when emotions get in the way. But it is just a small practice, and if we can actually put it into our daily life, right, I can guarantee you that this makes all the difference. Okay, I mean, if there's really one thing that I find is the most important in anyone's sort of journey in their own healing journey, or if you are just on this self-growth or self-improvement path, is to not make our healing journey another fixing task. Okay, because then it really defeats all the purpose. Okay, it's like I might as well you don't go on this path, right or not? Because it's like it's gonna add more pressure, right? But of course, doing all these practices, trying to just improve our relationship with ourselves is always just a good practice, right? But in a way, it should not also add more pressure, okay, to what we already have to do on a daily basis. What's my take on the tough question? Okay, let me read the question again, okay? How much? Oh my, I only have 5 minutes. Okay. Relationship separation means a stronger comeback or a stronger personal growth for both parties. Sometimes, okay, how I'll answer this is that sometimes it takes a lot of strength and courage to be separated, to grow apart. When you know that the relationship is not right for you, you can face it head on and you actually go separate ways. I think I see a lot of strength and courage in that, especially when I do couples work. It's not the easiest thing. They still maybe hold a lot of memories together, but the relationship just no longer serve where both party wants to go, right? And then in a way, separation can be a form of courage, okay? But of course, if you ask me in another context, okay, sometimes like in the context, okay, that maybe we leave a relationship, okay, because we want to avoid certain things. Okay, and actually the relationship has maybe potential to work things out together. Then leaving the relationship sometimes it's also not say you can't. Maybe in that time frame, that stage of your life, you got to leave the relationship, right? So but some people regret it later because they feel that they have actually missed a very good relationship. If only they look inwards and try to resolve things, that relationship can actually turn out to be a very strong match, right? So it really depends. This kind of question is very difficult to answer. That's why I say it's a tough question, right? Not but I hope it answers, right? Is it about young self and adult self? Wow, Joanne has many insightful questions here today. Not necessarily about young self or adult self. It could be an adult self speaking to another adult self, okay? It could be an adult self speaking to a young self also. Depending on where this fixing energy is coming from. Fixing energy can come from a younger part of us, but it can also come from a mature part of us, right? Maybe it's the responsible one, or it's the one that finds that is afraid to make mistakes. Okay, this could be a younger part of you, but this also can be an adult part of you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So we are only on step 2. Okay. So that's step 2. And then the last step here, the last step here is something that I always talk about in my live videos and content. Okay. Any guesses what is it? I'll be very happy if someone can get it right here. Any guesses what is the last step here? Okay, so the first one is naming it, right? Like, what is the fixing voice? The second one is, how do you actually translate this into a meeting question? And the third one, what is the third one? Compassion. Very close, very close. I think actually compassion counts lah. Okay, I'll give it to you. But I would always use another word. Okay, usually in my videos, in my live sessions. But compassion is close already. I would say that this word is maybe a bit like broader than compassion. What is the third step? Compensate. Definitely is not compensate, okay? Compassion is still close. Still close. Okay. Actually, right. Okay lah. It's 2 words lah. It's 2 words. So it's not 1 word. Okay. Actually, this word is very similar to compassion already. Okay, so I would say that the third step is offer yourself a sense of inner safety. Okay, inner safety. That's 2 words, but I was hoping to see the word safety. Okay, safety. Okay, and right, I'm always repeating this inner safety thing because it's actually the most important thing. A lot of us don't get safety in our body. We don't get safety in our minds. We don't get safety in our workplace or, sometimes even with ourselves, right or not? Yeah. So the third step is to offer ourselves a sense of safety, and so it could be just asking ourselves like, what is it that we need right now? Okay, and sometimes safety just looks like just giving yourself that like one breath, okay? Or it could be putting your hand on the place that feels very anxious and maybe just soothing it a little bit, okay? Like for example, if you feel that your heartbeat is going up a little bit, yeah, okay, then you can actually give yourself a little bit more safety through grounding or like a soothing touch, yeah, okay? Or if you're not a very body kind of person, okay, you don't like to touch your body, touching your body might not be safe for other people, okay? So then maybe to you, maybe your mind, you find more safety in your mind up here, okay? Then you can actually visualize a safe space, okay? We have done this before in like one of our previous live session. I don't know if any one of you here actually went to that live session before, but it could also be, hey, creating that safe space inside our mind. Okay, that is something we would do in Chill Carnival also, if for those of you guys who are coming for Chill Carnival. Okay, it's really creating that safety in your mind. Okay, and then bring yourself to that place. That can also be a way to give yourself inner safety. Okay, or it could be like telling yourself that being triggered does not mean that I failed. It doesn't mean that I'm broken. It doesn't mean that I'm wrong. Okay, so I just named 3 ways, okay, of giving yourself, 4 ways. Breath, okay, soothing, right? You can give yourself a touch, right? And then some people, they feel touch is very unsafe. They don't like to contact their body. Then it's about going to your mind, creating that safe space. This one needs practice lah. Okay, it requires a little bit of a practice. Okay, so I would say that the third one is not that easy, but it for some people it is more accessible. Okay, the last one, the fourth one, is just reminding yourself that this is just a moment of overwhelm, a moment of trigger, or sometimes we feel a bit small in the moment. Okay, it does not mean that I'm a bad person. It does not mean that there's something wrong with me. It doesn't mean that I failed. It doesn't mean that I'm not enough. Okay, and then just repeat these statements. That can be a form of safety. Okay, yeah? So, inner safety, okay, guys? Please remember these 2 words because it's so important. It's so important, these 2 words. Okay. Hello, hi one. Okay. How is therapy different from counseling? Good question. Therapy is a very broad term. We have body therapy, which is aka your massage. We have physiotherapy, which is aka like if your leg got injured, you go for a physio, right? And then we have what we call psychotherapy, right? For the mind, for the body. That is quite similar to counseling. Okay, just that psychotherapy goes a little bit more in-depth into patterns. Counseling is more of short-term solution focus. Okay. And then, right, I also want to say that you know, like, I always want to say this because it's a very big misconception and something that I feel that is very important. I need to say also, since we are on today's live, about meeting yourself, okay? Meeting yourself, guys, is not always like you feel good in the moment, okay? It does not mean that you will feel better, okay? Because there's a very big misconception, okay, that sometimes we think that, oh, moving from fixing ourselves to meeting ourselves is like we will feel immediately better. That's not true, okay? And sometimes meeting yourself can be the hardest step to do. Okay, that's why we therapists exist for a reason, okay? To kind of like you have this companion that goes together with you to meet yourself, okay? But is actually not very easy, and sometimes you require enough safety also, okay? So but I got to say that meeting yourself means you don't abandon yourself in the moment, okay? But that doesn't mean that it's always easy. Okay, sometimes it can bring up a lot of shit, trust me, and it can bring up a lot of like emotions. Then maybe you feel better later, but not in the moment. Okay. Really long time no see. I just did a live 2 weeks ago. Okay, so I have not been MIAing. Okay, even though last session, I think yes, the topic was on MIA. Sometimes we need to MIA to give ourselves a rest, right? But today I have not been MIA. I mean I have not MIA because I came back after 2 weeks. Yeah. Those who were here last session can be my witness. Okay. 7 pages of notes. Are you serious? Are you serious? Can you see the big smile on my face? I'm just really glad that you guys are here tonight as well. And it's not always like we have a topic for live session. Sometimes it just comes up as an inspiration that you know, that is something that, you know, I just hope to have a conversation on. Okay, but anyway, this live series is on coming home to ourselves. So every topic that we learn in this live series will connect back to this theme about how do we actually come home to ourselves and be safe in our body and our mind, okay? Because that's actually the most important thing, and it's also the heart of what I've been trying to actually create at Chill by Nette, right? Be it through therapy or my group experiences. If you guys have come to my group experience before, I know some of you guys have, but it's confidential, so I don't name the names. Okay, but okay, you know, oh yeah, by the way, guys, you know, 2 days ago was Chill by Nette's fifth year anniversary. Yeah, so happy birthday to Chill by Nette. It's been 5 years. Can you guys like you know, imagine like what is this like inner safety thing that I've been talking about that I can talk for 5 years? Like I also don't know how I can talk about inner safety and compassion for like 5 years. But I guess there's just so much to talk about still, even though it's been 5 years already, right? Oh, thank you. Oh my god, we should have a cake today. Then we can like put a candle and then we can like sing happy birthday together. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is, okay, shit, this is a moment. And okay, right now, I just feel a bit emotional. And how I would like to meet myself is also to put one hand on my chest and, you know, just experience this moment of gratefulness. Because I think some of you guys like that are here tonight also have come a very long way together with me on this live session. Yeah, okay, so thank you. Yay, 5 years. Happy 5 years to all of us here in this space again. I mean, sometimes we really MIA lah, that there are years and months that are MIA, but I think at the core of you know, what, you know, I hope to bring is always this idea that it's really this inner safety law, okay? And I think a lot of times we don't need another space to tell us that we need to be better, we need to be more fast, more optimized, you know, more productive. Okay, we also don't need to be more healed. Okay, so I always don't kind of like bring this concept of, I don't even speak about healing in my therapy sessions, by the way. Okay, but we don't need another space to tell us that. Okay, but what we need is a space where we can have more safety. Okay, that we can pause and we can slow down so that we can hear ourselves again. Okay, a space where we can feel safe not to fix ourselves. Okay, a space where we can feel safe to meet ourselves. Okay, because just now we talked about how meeting ourselves is not a easy thing. Okay, sometimes it doesn't feel good in the moment, but when there's enough safety, inner safety, actually is doable. Okay, it requires a bit of courage, but is actually doable. Okay. Okay, so I always say that practice one step, small step at a time. Okay, we will be able to meet ourselves instead of constantly fixing ourselves. Today's your birthday. Oh, but my anniversary is actually 2 days ago, 4th May. But okay lah, still close enough. Okay, so this is also the intention behind Chill Carnival. Okay, I think just now someone asked about Chill Carnival, right? Okay, Chill Carnival for your inner self. I think it's already our 10th time running this carnival. Okay, and I think it's really, again, it's a space that helps us to reconnect with ourselves, to meet ourselves in ways that our body and our mind need. Okay, it's not a therapy. Okay, it's also not another like sort of just workshop or anything. Okay, it's a space that I really hope to have it small. So true carnivals are always very small. Okay, because it's small, there's enough safety. Okay, and then we can actually use that safety to guide ourselves inwards. Okay, and then for upcoming Chill Carnival, there will be safe space visualization. Okay, so the safe space visualization is one of the ways that we can actually provide safety to ourselves. Okay, so if you would like to actually join, there's still slots and opening. You can actually head to my bio link and click on the first button. Okay, click on the first button to sign up. You can just submit the form and then I'll contact you if you feel called, and if this resonates. It can be a space, okay, for you to meet yourself more deeply. But I would say that, okay, if you are constantly in a state of crisis right now, or you feel like your emotions are not very stabilized, then this may not be extremely suitable. Okay, maybe therapy will be sort of like a more personalized, more contained space. Okay, but for someone who just wants a pause in their sort of like year, okay, I had enough of this like year that I keep doing, and I just feel so exhausted and tired. Yes, this will be very suitable. Okay, you will be assessing your rest, what kind of rest your body needs. Okay, it's very specific, so we will actually uncover that, and then there will also be, of course, some surprises, which only if you come, okay, then you will get to also experience. Okay, I'll be giving away something as well during the carnival lah. Okay, so it's just a place for us to come together to chill, and I hope to see some of you guys there. Sorry, I missed your question. What is psychotherapy in one sentence? Psychotherapy is therapy for the mind and the body and the soul. Yes, that's one sentence. I will add the word personalized. Personalized therapy for your mind, body, and soul. Reminds me of being there for myself. Yeah. And good job for all of us that joined today. For the past 1 hour, we have been just, giving ourselves the space to reflect inwards. And this is something to, encourage ourselves for, okay? I just want to tell you that you're beautiful. Kotaro, thank you so much for your warm words. All of us are beautiful in our own ways. Yes. And the fact that, you know, you're able to see beauty in something, it tells me that your soul is beautiful as well. Okay, so I'll be sharing the details, okay, about the Chill Carnival in our broadcast channel. By the way, right, for those of you guys who are in the Chill community group, I will be closing down the group soon. Basically, we will be migrating to a new broadcast. The link of the broadcast channel is in my link tree, okay? So I'll be sharing the details there after today's live session, and I will also be sort of like sharing the details and also future live session in that new broadcast, okay? Because the previous one needs to like have some access, and I always need to go and approve, and it's not public, okay? So I created a broadcast channel instead, and that's so much easier. Anybody can join, you don't have to get any access. And if you like to get notifications for the next live update, the topic, okay, usually I'll put it in that live session, the broadcast channel. Okay, yes, thank you for being here today. Okay, and hope you guys actually took away something from today's live, and you know, hope that we are one step closer, okay, to meeting ourselves. Okay, yeah, it's ending already. Okay, yeah, because last time, right, the chill live sessions are usually at 10:30. Okay, the chill live sessions are actually 10:30, but I realized that 10:30 is a bit late, okay, for some of us who wants to sleep early. So I decided to push it a bit earlier, 9:30. So future live sessions will be on 9:30, okay, for now. Might change again in the future, okay, I don't know, okay, but yes, it's 9:30 for now. Okay, all right. Okay, so take care of yourself, guys, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time. Okay, you can stay connected with me through the broadcast channel. Link is in my bio. Okay, and for those of you guys who are called to check out the Chill Carnival, the link is also in my bio, and I really hope to see some of you guys there. Okay. Yeah, it's a 90-minute session, and if you like more details, I'll be dropping the details again, okay, in the Telegram group. Good night, guys. Bye.